Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here we are in San Pedro. Mr. J.
We have been here for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I couldn't walk.
We're here at Fort MacArthur. MacArthur, something like that. Anyways, it's time to explore. Let's do this, everyone. Right now we're on top. Unfortunately, the view isn't too groovy right now because of the fog and everything. Ominous weather. Well, we'll show you as much as we can. So here is the main fort right here. Look at it.
Oh, shoot, it's closed. Is it closed? It's closed.
No, there's people down there.
Are there?
Yeah, there's people down there.
How do we drive down there?
We have to walk.
We do?
Yeah, like last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got to get down there.
You can't drive down there?
No, they won't let you. They want you to walk. Remember this? You don't remember? We did this last time?
How did they get down there?
They walked.
Well, look at the cars. Wait a minute.
Legends have been told that this fort is actually haunted. I think I said that last time we were here. But yeah, this is the main base. All throughout PV, San Pedro. But this is the main one during World War II and after. In case the Japanese invaded, and then after Korea, and then the Russians. Oh! Alright, let's figure this out. Let's get down this way. Let's do this as safe as possible.
Right here.
Alright, right here, okay. Let's get over there. Here we go. Alright, solid ground. Alright. So now we gotta get in. We gotta hop the fence.
Yeah, right.
No, that's barbed wire. We can't do that. No, it's just right here. No, we can't do that. Here we go. The gate's open right here. Right on. Let's adventure in. Check out this little guard post right here. Any soldiers in here? Nope. Alright, we're in. We're going to show you this massive howitzer right here. This thing is huge. It's the cannon of the day. Look at that. Wow. Look at that thing. Look at this thing. Tires. Put the massive shell in here.
Yeah, 60 years old.
Look at that. Just fire away at the Japanese. Okay, over here we have another artifact. Yeah, it used to be another, probably anti-aircraft gun.
Wow.
Now it's just a bunch of rust. See, this is how you lift it. It gets higher. Coordinates or whatever you gotta do to shoot them down. Russ came over to the bushes here and we found the actual cannon. So this is supposed to go on there. Looks a little beat up, huh?
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
Never saw that one.
Yeah, there it is. Looks like they're restoring all the military stuff.
Waters explode outwards. Captures a giant fireball.
Hello. Look at this.
Look at this.
What is this supposed to be?
Wow, look at this door.
Yeah.
Wow. Boy, that's security.
It sure is. I wonder what it's supposed to be.
Wow.
Oh, it goes in. Look, see, it goes on
yeah.
underneath bunker. Yep. So here it is. Look at this place. Wow. Look at that. Pretty interesting, huh? A lot of history here. There seems to be some more. I wonder what used to be right here.
Look at that, huh? How it used to be. Remember that one time they were painting that?
Yeah. Well, what do you think this used to be?
That was
This was a cannon?
yeah, no, that's with the gun.
Right here?
Yep.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right down there. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Let's see what this is. Ooh, this goes deep down. Locked. Sirens go off right here. Maybe. Or is it just for oxygen? Because it goes deep down. Looks like here's another entrance to the bunker. Everything seems to be sealed off. Why is that? How am I supposed to get in there and vlog that? Huh? What's going on around here? Looks like we're gonna have to mask up. We're going in doing the tour. Unfortunately. We're inside.
Illustrious World War II General Douglas MacArthur. When this place was built, Los Angeles was rapidly transforming from a small cattle town in the middle of nowhere to a quickly growing, thriving metropolis. And a lot of this growth was spearheaded by the gaining of a number of industries such as fishing, industrial shipping, and oil fields. As such, Los Angeles got its first deep water port in 1907, and railway lines connected to the rest of the continent. This, of course, meant that Los Angeles was now a good target for an invasion, as any invasion force would need a deep water port with rail lines in order to rapidly transport and offload men and war material. As a result, Fort MacArthur needed fortifications. So the original fortifications consisted of 4 14-inch discipline rifles and 8 12-inch heavy mortars. Now, discipline rifles are named because the rifle barrel would be below this parapet wall here. And that is where it is going to be aimed and loaded. Then a counterbalance will drop down into a cistern beneath the gun, raising the barrel above that parapet wall. So it can fire, and then the recoil would slam it back down below the parapet. An enemy ship out in the harbor would never see the gun emplacements until they were firing, and that made it very difficult to return fire. The heavy mortars are typically what to use against infantry. However, these were also meant to sink battleships. And if we're to think about the USS Iowa out there in the harbor, she had 12 inches of steel around her structure during the Second World War. But her top deck armor at its thickest point was only 6 inches, with the average being about 3 or 4. So the mortar rounds would be able to penetrate several decks far more easily than the artillery shells, and thus deal a lot more damage. These were the first published images of Pearl Harbor, almost a full year after the event. And during that intervening year, Americans had very little idea of what happened and what it meant. What they were pretty sure meant was that the Japanese were going to attempt a land invasion of the continent soon. And that fear was supported by a number of Japanese attacks against the West Coast that happened fairly quickly, culminating in the attack on 15 merchant ships, shelling of 3 land targets and dropping of over 300 bombs by balloon and plane. And of all these incidents, the closest occurred about a mile from where we're standing at the entrance of the harbor. And nature of that attack is still disputed today. What we do know is in the early mornings of February 24th, 1942, Los Angelenos believed they spotted Japanese planes in the skies above the city. And about 14,000 rounds, 40 tons of explosives, was launched into the air. Of course, there were no planes. For Japanese planes to have been here, you had to have an aircraft carrier. Closest aircraft carrier was well over 1,000 miles away. And fighters today don't have that kind of range. So these 2 attacks, both real and imagined, helped spoke to the fear that many Americans felt. And that fear was then turned on the Japanese American citizens living here, who they believed, were going to become spies and saboteurs in large numbers, due to the Japanese culture at the time demanding total obedience to the emperor. And the War Department did a study to see if there was any truth or veracity to these rumors, and they found nothing. But public opinion was so strong, the administration still set up internment camps. And soldiers from this fort were then tasked with the forced evacuation of Japanese Americans from Terminal Island, which was the largest concentration on the West Coast, as well as the farmers who lived throughout the Palos Verdes Hills. And these citizens were then sent to Camp Manzanar. And you have a picture of Manzanar. During the war, there was only 2 ways out of those camps. The first was you had some kind of medical emergency that required facilities such as a hospital. But as soon as you were better, you were placed right back in the camp. And the second was if you joined the military. Now, in the summer of 1942, you had the battle that was named after the 101st Airborne, so some people just see it like every day.
So what division would it be?
The Avenger sends a scale for the guns here, these 14-inch disappearing rifles. So each of those bags is about 100 pounds of explosive material. And the guns here require 6 of those, or 600 pounds of explosives to fire one of these shells. About 600 pounds of explosives to fire one of these shells. So this is a 14-inch armor-piercing shell. And remember how when I said earlier, when the Iowa had 12 inches of steel on her superstructure? Well, we're not trying to sink American battleships, we're trying to sink Japanese battleships. The largest of which was the Yamamoto. The Yamamoto had 16 inches of steel around her superstructure. So this would have to get through 16 inches of steel and still do damage. And effectively did that in 2 stages. The first part, the shaped armor-piercing charge, uses compounds like thermite to very rapidly heat up the metal. We're talking about 6,000 to 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit in a millisecond. And that's not quite enough to melt the steel, not long enough, but it is enough to make it very soft, so the momentum of the shell can push through the now soft material. Where the second stage, a high explosive round, goes off and hopefully sinks the ship. But it fits it very comfortably into a 1,500 pound shell. And I think that's more than most of us can lift. So they would have to use the rail system above our heads to lift it from the storage rack onto these loading tables. And then from the loading table, they would roll it onto a specialized cart. See it? Alright. Got a good gun on the camera there?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Where the bullet and all the powder goes. And now let's talk about how you fire this thing. Because it's not too dissimilar from a Civil War cannon, really. First thing you gotta do is open up this breech lock. Doesn't sound like too much, but this is about 3,000 pounds. So you really don't want to stand in the way. Next, you have to run a wet sponge through the entire length of this piece. You need to put out any embers from the last time it fired. Otherwise, when you shove in another block of 100 pounds of black powder, you're gonna have a real bad day. Next, you have to get that 1,500 pound shell in. And this is the Army in the 1910s, so there's no mechanical assistance or device that's going to do it for you. Instead, a team of about 10 men are going to have to ram it in with a giant rod. Yeah, and it has to reach all the way to the rifle, so it's a mean distance. Finally, you put in those bags of black powder, close up the breech, fix the fuse, then aim the rifle, counterbalance lifts it up, fire it, and recoil shoves it back down below again. And then you can repeat the entire process. Worse, the Japanese did. But the most important tool in air defense are these. Think about a candle in a dark room. No other lights, just the candle. Candle doesn't light up that much of space. But it lights up a decent amount of space, and you can see it from pretty far off, yeah? Yeah. Well, this is about 800 million candles. And if that's a little hard to imagine, it's about 1/3 the lumen, or 1/3 the brightness of the sun. And it focuses that energy into a beam that goes for 8 miles and can be seen for another 30. Now, by the end of the Second World War, these machines were obsolete because of the creation of the jet engine, which allowed planes to achieve a much higher altitude ceiling and simply go too fast for this equipment to track it effectively. And that wasn't too big a deal until 1949, when the Soviet Union successfully tested its first nuclear bomb. And as we entered into the Cold War, the fear became of the Soviet Union sending fleets of jet bombers over the Pacific with nuclear devices. And we needed a new defensive system. The Ajax. She is a single booster rocket that's guided by a ground-based radar system to intercept and destroy a Soviet bomber using a conventional warhead. Now this does presents us with two problems. First, 17 miles for a jet is not very far, so your intercept window is pretty narrow. Second, it takes one of these missiles to destroy one bomber. And if there's something good about the Soviets is they don't make one of something, they make hundreds and thousands of somethings. So, in the mid-50s, we created another missile, and that'll be on the picture on your left Ajax here. But she has 4 boosters, the Ajax is 1. Now, the port's usually hooked onto the city power grid like it is right now. But in times of emergency, you can't rely on city power. You have to be able to produce your own. So each battery is equipped with one of these 1910 GE generators with an output of about 25 kilowatts of electricity. While 25 kilowatts isn't too much by today's standards, back then, the only electrical systems were the lights and the telephone lines. So it was more than enough. We're particularly proud of these machines because in addition to both of them still being functional, this particular one, we were able to match the serial number to this room. So the only question is if it was on this pedestal, that pedestal. Either way, we're not moving it. We're going to go outside and then go to the final room and the second to last room.
Air conditioning.
Oh, this is cool.
Wow. A little dark in here, huh? A little dark in here. Wow.
Yeah, you still look out, Judy. Just don't look out.
I mean, this doesn't bother me.
Oh, interesting. Claustrophobic in here. Claustrophobic.
Well,
Wow.
I'm going to ask him about the history.
Yeah, this is it goes up from here. Wow. Long hallway. These are voice tubes for the cornets for the shooting the big cannon. Look at this. Look at this. Spiders, huh? What's down there? So there we go. We explored the bunker, and it goes down deep and more all throughout here. Coast of PV, just like that. This is the main one. This is the main fortresses. Here it is. Here's the coast. A little foggy. Next, we're gonna go check out the Korean Bell over there, and there's another bunker underneath. Well, look at that, huh? Little ominous. We were in here, all through in here. Don't fall off.
Be careful.
Don't fall off. Where the command center was to see where the targets were, and then the coordinates for the big huge cannon to fire off right here. So this was they started building this fort in 1915. Think of that, before World War I, before we got into World War I. It was going on right now there, but we didn't get in until last year. Here's another little command post right here. Look at these doors, huh? Thick. This is for the air, so you can breathe down there. Look at these shells. I see these everywhere. Why is there so many snails here? Huh? What's going on around here?
That's a dog. Wow, what a pretty dog.
So we gotta climb that hill, get to the car, and then we're gonna reach to the other side where the big Korean Bell is. And then that's the adventure. Looks like we found a little path right here.
Wow, man.
Easier to climb up. Yeah, we found an easier path to climb up this hill. Here's another bunker up here. Look at that. Another one. I'm telling you, they're all throughout the coast here. Climbing. Climbing. Come on. Adventure. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Get up there. Come on. Keep going. See, this is where they looked out from. This is the lookout point. Okay, we made it to the top. This is where the... here's more. Something comes out of here. Rails it. Probably another big gun. Another big gun. Here's more of the fort over here. What is this? Communications? The power. Huh? Communications? There's another one. Look, more bunkers over there. Another entrance. Now over here is where the barracks were, where the troops were resting. Is their housing all through here. So now we're in the car driving over there.
Teepees.
And these were the housing. That's where the troops stayed. See that? All the housing. Here, yeah, more housing. Okay, let's go check out this bell. Can you read that?
Wow, cast with alloy, tan, copper, gold. That's
My skincare videos. All right, skincare videos all the way. Korean skincare. That's where I do it from, right? Okay, everyone. Well, that was our adventure here in San Pedro. We got to visit Fort MacArthur, or Fort MacArthur, whatever it's called, and the Korean Bell. So make sure to give this video a massive like. Very friendship, alright? Skincare all the way. Yeah, check out those skincare videos. Alright, everyone. Time to go eat. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.